You're walking along the street, you're at a party, or else you're alone, and then you suddenly dig. You're looking in someone's eyes, you suddenly realize that this could be the start of something big.
It all started in the fall of 1956 with two college quartets battling in the Illinois district competition. The North Blends and the Aristochords would place 7th and 8th that year. After the competition, the two quartets would merge. Tom Felgen on bass, Tom Hine on baritone, Joe Sullivan on tenor, and Jim Mayer on lead. They called themselves the Up and Adams. When Tom Hine dropped out, Warren Buzz Hager, tenor of the recently disbanded 1955 third-place medalist the Fortissimos, called for a gathering at the Normandy House in Chicago. Buzz would sing baritone. Legendary coach Lyle Pilcher was invited to give them a listen. He stopped them before they reached the tag and proceeded to switch the top three parts and said, "That's how the quartet will sound best. Now, sing louder." At the next rehearsal, they decided on a name that would give them some latitude with costuming and show numbers. They chose the Four Renegades. In early 1957, they qualified to represent the Illinois district at the International Contest in Los Angeles. They placed 10th in their very first outing. In January 1958, Buzz told the quartet that he'd have to drop out because of job demands. The quartet quickly chose Claire DeFrew as the new tenor. Qualifying for the International in Columbus, Ohio, they went on to finish 13th. Following that competition, Jim Mayer went to work for a top Chicago law firm, and the quartet decided to take a hiatus. By mid-1959, Buzz Hager found time and was itching to get the Renegades back together. But they needed a new baritone. They asked their coach, and he recommended a fella from Gary, Indiana by the name of Jim Foley. That foursome clicked, and for the next 4 years, their calendar was full, performing on nearly 200 shows. On the international stage, the quartet amassed quite a record, placing 9th in Dallas in 1960, 7th in Philadelphia in 1961, 3rd in Kansas City in 1962, and 4th in Toronto, Canada in 1963.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Four Renegades.
Did you see my little Jimmy marching? They were marching.
In late 1963, Joe Sullivan's life outside the Renegades was getting complicated. He reluctantly asked the group to find another lead, but agreed to sing until a replacement was found. Buzz remembered hearing about a guy with a big voice who could really sing. Enter Ben Williams. Ben had done little quartet work in his short tenure as barbershopper, so the quartet set up an audition. At the audition, they asked Ben what his voice range was. He replied, "About 200 yards." They buckled down, learned new songs, did several shows, and qualified to be the international district representative to the next international competition. Between the prelims and the 1964 competition in San Antonio, they improved substantially and rewarded with a second-place silver medal. It was truly an amazing accomplishment considering a new lead, new songs, and new routines. Now came the big push for the gold medal. They kept up their weekly rehearsals until January of 1965, then rehearsed twice a week along with a full show schedule. By the time the international contest in Boston came around, it felt just like another show weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Four Renegades.
Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Harold's Way. Want to tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. I'll soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning. I am that Yankee Doodle, all-American boy.
They could not have been more ready. They earned the highest scores ever given since the Society contest had begun in 1939. They placed an incredible 429 points ahead of the second-place quartet. Wow! The Four Renegades continued on for 7 years after winning the gold, entertaining audiences and being goodwill ambassadors wherever they went. They recorded 3 great albums, yes, vinyl albums. They traveled on a USO tour with Bob Hope. They made 2 appearances on the popular Mike Douglas Show and Bandstand Matinee with Patty Page. They serenaded folks on Main Street at Disneyland with the Dapper Dans and at Carnegie Hall with the Buffalo Bills. The Four Renegades officially retired in 1972 but reunited in 1990 to celebrate their 25th anniversary of winning the international competition. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to Ben Williams in 1992, Jim Foley in 1993, and Buzz Hager in 2007. Paraphrasing a statement written in 1972 by Ontario District President John Parkinson, barbershopping owes its charm and its existence to a handful of quartets and individuals who have captured our ears and our hearts, and the Four Renegades certainly head the list of our society's all-time favorites and greats. 4 wonderful guys who are as gracious and giving of themselves as they are great entertainers. If we as barbershoppers wish to look up to a group who epitomizes all we stand for and all we sing for, then let it be the Four Renegades.
There never was a good old gang like mine.
Long live the Four Renegades.